welcome everyone, each and all, to this unity gathering. We are dedicated to strengthening your life adventure, to supporting you in discovering the deep fulfillment of knowing the truth, and dedicated to that revelation that occurs in consciousness. That is the kingdom of heaven that Jesus, our way shower, Yeshua, taught us to seek. And so I light this candle for the Spirit of truth that dwells eternally in you.
Well, I'm really delighted to be here and to be a part of this. As some of you actually know and reminded me, I was supposed to come 2 winters ago and got snowed out, and I stayed on the phone, like, was flying United Airlines, and I stayed on the phone. It was like midnight, and I had the phone on my chest, and I was laying back here kind of snoozing. I had it on speakerphone, I was like, because I was on hold. Everybody was trying to get rescheduled, and she said, well, I have one seat, and a seat out of LaGuardia in 45 minutes. I live 2 hours from New York City. And I was like, oh, I can't do it. Anyway, so I could not make that time, and I'm delighted that this worked out. This is a song I wrote quite a while ago when I was living in Maine, and it was one of the more high points spiritually of my experience so far in this life. It's called Building a New Way. We are building a new way. We are building a new way. We are building a new way, working for it every day. We are building a new way, and we are working to be free. We are working to be free. Yeah, we are working to be free of hate and greed and jealousy. We are working to be free. Now we can feed our every need. We can feed our every need. We can feed our every need. Gotta start with love. Now that is the seed that we can feed our every need. Start clapping your hands, lead them. And we are building a new way. Yes, we are building a new way. Oh, we are building a new way and working for it every day. We are building a new way. Yeah, we are building a new way. Where we are building a new way. Woo!
We've been doing a series on merging 2 worlds, the world of celestial spirituality, meaning kind of the white bread Christian praise to the skies kind, and earth-based spirituality, the drumming and tribal dancing and moon ceremonies and the earth-based spirituality. So you might think we've covered everything there is to cover about this area. But what we haven't covered is how celestial spirituality, so-called celestial spirituality, our Christian tradition, how it does celebrate the earth and the manifest world of creation. Uh, and the first thing I remembered when I started thinking about where can you find it, and it should come to your mind, St. Francis of Assisi. You know the stories of St. Francis. Some people are nodding. They're beautiful stories. And he is the patron saint of animals and the environment, or just nature in general. And transcendentalists were products of the Judeo-Christian culture, and theirs was a world of celebrating the natural world, celebrating humans in their natural settings, and the Christian calendar is centered around cycles of the earth and the rhythms of nature, albeit they were influenced by the more primal societies around them. Well, here's the question I came to this week. Is science an earth-based spirituality? I think it is. To bring together science and religion is to bring together the manifest, tangible, material world and the celestial or the spiritual or the intangible. And here, I read this before to you, but I'm reading it again, this quote by Ibn Alexander. I have copies of this out in the breezeway for you if you want to pick one up. And this is the man who, as he worked as a neurosurgeon, was convinced that there was no such thing as a near-death experience. It was a hallucination or dream. And then he had it. He died, and he went to the other side, and he came back, and as a scientist, he was able to verify that there was no way his brain was capable of the experience that he had. And so now he's become a lecturer at all the spiritual gatherings. And he published a book called Proof of Heaven, and his second book is Living in a Mindful Universe, and he's one of the keynote people for the Chicago Miracles Center. They have ongoing classes there, New Paradigm, spiritual stuff. So he says, in his promotion for his presentation, he says, scientists are beginning to acknowledge what spiritual traditions have said for millennia. There is more to our world than physical matter. Quantum physics unequivocally demonstrate the existence of consciousness. A complete transformation of the conventional Western worldview is underway as science and spirituality move to strengthen each other and evolve into universal truths that affect each and every one of us. And then there's 3 more paragraphs you might want to read. Good stuff, huh? I gave this out at the ministers' conference. People were like, wow, So I invite you to take off any blinders you might be accustomed to using. And because we look into the vast realms of the microcosm, we see the cell, the molecule, the ray, the electromagnetic force. We find patterns of universal, mysterious, divine creation, repeated throughout the cosmos. And then as we look into the macrocosm, the outer realms of the universe, star systems, galaxies, the speed of light, the vibration of sound, we find mathematical progressions extending into infinity. Everything is a vibration. Listen, everything is a vibration. Someday, all healing will be vibrational healing. Have you seen Greg Braden ever give a presentation? Greg Braden is a foremost scientist who presents how people all over the world are practicing different types of spiritual disciplines that create miraculous healings that you wouldn't think would be possible. Well, he came to the Unity on the temple, Unity Temple on the plaza, and he did a presentation, a 3-hour presentation, lecture of his travels and what he discovered. This was about 15 years ago, though, so he's come a long way since then. His videos are now on YouTube, but he showed this video in the auditorium where he was that showed a camera focused on an operating table where there was a person with an inoperable tumor on their bladder. And monks were chanting around the operating table. And as they chanted, the tumor visibly dissolved. And that video is on YouTube now, available for anyone to see. Greg Braden has a video of Buddhist monks chanting as a tumor on the bladder dissolves. And there are several other more of these now that have turned up. So here is the pearl, the gem, the diamond of wisdom that is so simple we tend to miss it. We have authority over vibration. Do you believe you are a creator? We say our thoughts create our world and our experience, but it's much more than that. Our power to accelerate vibration, to accelerate vibratory rate is untapped so far. And our power to resist low energy states is supreme. Because we are made in the image and likeness of God, God, the organizing principle of ultimate reality, as individualized expressions of that creative force, that principle, we can, through the power of intention itself, send forth a healing thought pattern, a positive energetic vibration, emanation. Let me say that better. We can send forth a healing thought pattern, a positive vibrational energetic emanation that influences, that transforms that whereunto it is sent. Do you believe it? Some people are nodding. Yes, we're always doing it already, whether we know it or not. Maybe this is how crop circles are made. You know, crop circles replicate the same sound patterns as are created in something called cymatics. Cymatics is a research area where sound is put into a space with a transparent plate that has particles on it. And as the sound changes, the pattern of the particles changes into different patterns. And some of those exact patterns of sound vibrations appear in the crop circles. And they also appear in snowflakes, crystals. And if you start looking at these things that you can now see on the internet, you really get into a very meditative state. The word celestial means of the heavenly realm. So truly we are coming into the state of consciousness that does not separate the divine from the finite. All is one. God is the allness that we are living from, living into, living as the expression of, living as the Christ. God bless you. Amen. Thank you. Thank you.
So I thought we'd have a little practice of blending the celestial and the earth spirits. So if everybody, I'm going to blend together a number of aspects of a number of different disciplines that I have studied over the years. So if everybody please sit up straight and have your hands comfortable. If you are used to using mudras, you can use this open on your lap. Just have your hands but your first two fingers. If you're not, just hands comfortable. And take a few deep breaths in through the nose and through the mouth, and in through the nose. And as you breathe out with this right now, just let every excess energy, anything that's not pertinent to this moment, just let it go for a little while. You can pick it back up later. In, and let everything just release and come into the now. And we're going to blend the earth and spirit energies through our heart. So firstly, let's breathing in, let's bring in the light from the heavens, down in through our head into our chest. And as we breathe out, now we're going to imagine earth energy coming up through our feet, through our legs, into our bellies, and up to our chest. And this is going to be the creative part of it. We bring in, as we breathe in, we bring in light. And as we blow out, we're going to imagine that energy of the earth, the energy of form, coming out through our heart and sending that love of our heart out into the universe. So in, energy of the heavens, and breathing out, we give that form on the earth plane through our heart. Let's do that a few times. Breathing in, breathing out through the heart, bringing up the energy of the earth to bring the love and light into that form. Breathing in, and breathing out, bringing up the energy of the earth. And keep that going, breathing in, and then breathing out the energy of the earth. And I'd like you to imagine in front of you perhaps someone that you love quite deeply but are having a little bit of struggle with. So as you breathe out the love, this is unconditional and it's just open to the universe. Breathe in the energy and breathe out that love and form, creating a pathway of love to the person that you are loving but struggling with. In and out, creating a pathway of love. And in and out, breathing out the pathway of love. And let's all focus right now as we breathe in and breathe out. Let's center our love focus on this church. Breathing in, breathing out, bringing love into form in this church, that everyone who comes here may feel it. In and out. And now let's take it to the town. In, breathing out, surrounding our town in love. In and out. So that anyone in Muskegon who needs it can tap into this love. And you may keep that practice, and I'm going to sing just a little bit of a chant. Spirit of the wind, carry me. Spirit of the wind, carry me home. Spirit of the wind, carry me home to myself. Spirit of the earth, mother of birth, Spirit of the land, hold me in your hand. Spirit of the wind, carry me. Spirit of the wind, carry me home. Spirit of the wind, carry me home to myself. Spirit of the sun, make us all one. Spirit of the light, give us clear sight. Spirit of the wind, carry me. Spirit of the wind, carry me home. Spirit of the wind, carry me home to myself. Take one last breath in and one last intentional breath out, sending out the love in form of the energy of the earth. Amen.